What's up? Guys, I am beat. All right. So I just want to let y'all know that's the reason I decided to do this because you know what? I'm just give out. All right. So I ain't got time. I'm tired. So I just want to let everybody know I made it back. I've been one piece mostly. A little worn for the event, but I did make it back. So we'll give it a second, let everybody get in here and make sure that everything's working before we get too involved. But just want to say hey to everybody. Robbie, Jack, Cajun, Brad, Jim, Rhonda Bonneau, Mark Patterson, James Richards. Welcome. But if you can't tell, I am like, I don't know. This is not sunburn. It's more like my face got dried out. Like I've had to use chapstick. I was not built for desert weather. So a little dehydrated. I put some lotion on my face. Hopefully it'll get back better. And I've been putting chapstick on my lips and everything. So it was a fun, awesome, like kid in a candy store type event, guys. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That is one reason that I am so tired. Like, guys, y'all know it ain't been long since I went through my knee surgery, was off my feet. So my legs are way out of shape. Like walking on an average 8.5 to 9 miles a day was not something I was prepared for. So next year, I'm going to start training for CES at least 2 months in advance. We'll slowly work my way up on my walking. So that was a booger. Like I said, I closed some rings while I was gone, guys. It was ridiculous. If my knee wasn't getting any strengthening, it is now. Today was a slow day. As you can see, I only did 2.57 miles today, which, it's really not a whole lot when you look at, the 8.97 miles that I walked the first day over there at CES. And then the second day was about 8 miles. So it was way more than I walk in the shop. So, yeah. If you ever go to CES, guys, just know, get on the app, because me and Steve tried to do the best we could with targeting where we wanted to be and seeing the things we wanted to see. But then you get in there and you realize that there's other stuff in there that is just as cool as the lasers and 3D printers and CNCs. Man, they had so many robots doing so much stuff. I've got a photo dump I've been working on. I've been dumping all the cameras onto the computer. I'm going to try to put something together once I get my voice straightened out and my face ain't all red, and try to get y'all like an idea of what the event was like. But it was, if you can imagine it with electronics, it was there more than likely. Some of the automation and the robot stuff is just crazy. They even had a lawnmower robot that would cut your grass, like a nice one that I actually think could handle my yard. So maybe I'll get one of those. Mark, I'm gonna be honest with you. I told Steve I needed one of those. I found the vehicle. Hang on, let me find the picture. Wait a minute, I got them on my computer now. Let me find the picture. I found my vehicle, and I told Steve I needed to get that. Like, I told Steve, they brought that vehicle exclusively for me. I knew they did. But I don't know that they'd let me use it in the event. So let me find it here. I know I uploaded it. I got so many pictures. There's so much orange in all of them. But yeah, I should have a picture of it somewhere. It was the first day, so it should be right in there somewhere. Hopefully. Well, maybe I haven't uploaded all my pictures. I thought I had uploaded all my pictures because I'm not seeing it. I got more pictures somewhere. They must not have all uploaded. Let me go on my phone and find it. This is crazy. I'm gonna have to go through my phone and see what has uploaded and what hadn't, because I'm not seeing the thumbnails on here. So let me go find it right quick. Yeah, there it is. See, I don't know where it's at on my. Yeah, I'm gonna have to double check before I delete anything to make sure all my photos got uploaded. But they had this guy. Look at that guy right there. You can stand or sit. It's electric, battery operated. That was me. They had some e-bikes up there that were orange as well. I mean, it was, guys, it was amazing. They had everything you could think of up there. And I did get lost in a couple of areas. Steve couldn't find me because there was so much orange. Orange was the color for CES this year. So there you go. Yeah, the backpack, Fluffy's over here keeping the backpack company. But there's the backpack. And Steve was making fun of me, guys. I want y'all to know. Steve was like, "Are you seriously fixing to buy that?" I was like, "Heck yeah, I'm fixing to buy that. That's awesome." But I've got it set up right now to where it runs the clackshack.com. It's got the logo. I got me a little orange-eyed alien there. And then I got the Fluffy wearing a hoodie, and I got the alien wearing a hoodie on there. And just been playing around putting some graphics on it, and I can control it with the phone. So, oh, there's see Fluffy's posing. She's posing with herself. Oh, and I got an Xtool hat that she's getting cat hair all over. But yeah, see there she goes. And then there's some little cat eye looking things. But yeah, it was neat. I told him, I was like, I gotta have that. My plan is to put Steve on a backpack because I got Steve on a stick. I got Steve on a stand. I'm going to put Steve on a backpack. And I'm thinking maybe like, a little bobblehead Steve, like doing a little dance or something, maybe. I don't know yet. I got to come up with the graphics and get them programmed into it. But that way when we go somewhere, and I'm also going to do another one and put it on there that has like a picture of a Sasquatch with an arrow and going, "I'm with Bigfoot." Because I know a lot of y'all saw the video or the pictures that Steve was putting out about me. Claiming that I'm that much shorter than him, which it was funny. I got him getting creds on that one. It was pretty funny, but he he was getting some mileage out of the short jokes this week, no doubt. Oh, Robbie, he looked at me sideways when I told him I was going to have Steve on a backpack. But yeah, it's it was fun. We had a good time. I'm not too sure that one reason why I'm not so tired, because I don't know if any of y'all have done a whole lot of running or anything like that before, but you get shin splints. And I haven't had shin splints since the academy back in '99. But man, that first day I got them. Like they hit me hard. And I don't know if it was because Steve and his like 8-foot stride, and me trying to keep up with him with my legs or what, but I got them. And then I think I've been doing like 2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon of Tylenol just to where I could get up and get moving again. But yeah, it was rough, but I loved it. I loved it. Sup, Dark Arts Laser Engraving LLC. How are you? Brad Austin. What's up? How are you? I'm pretty sure, isn't this the same Brad? I'd have to check my messages. I think that's the same Brad that I saw this week. Is it? Let me know, because if not, I'll have to go through my messages. And my eyes are about tired. So Brad Ham says he loves the backpack. Thank you, sir. Chris, how are you, sir? Brian Smith says my brother-in-law wears a different color shirt each day. Makes it easier to ensure your photos are already uploaded. Yeah. Well, guys, it was like the service over there. Was it yesterday? Me and Steve were going to try to do some lives and stuff, but the service, Verizon, had some issues. He tried using his T-Mobile, and it was okay, but it was a headache. And I was at the booth with Xtool, and people were coming up asking about the machines, and they had a few people up there, but some of the people that work with Xtool don't necessarily run the machines. And so people were asking questions, and Allison, our contact, a lady with Xtool, would send them over to me and Steve, and we would give them, information about what the machine could do, which one would be best for this and all that. And so the Carrie, I don't know if any of y'all know Carrie. She does a lot with Xtool as far as like she's one of their folks on their Facebook page, but she busted her rear end. Guys, she stayed busy. I don't know how she did it. Like that floor was killing me. Like she was over there in cowboy boots standing all day long, but it was kicking my butt. So, but yeah, it was cool though. Jim, that's what I'm saying. I think some Fluffy, are you trying to fight? She's trying to fight my backpack, guys. Look at her. See, like, why does that thing keep moving? What the heck? She said, what's going on there? What is it? We done caught you being silly. She tried to tie up fighting with the backpack over here while I'm talking to you guys. Now she gonna lay on my Xtool. Quit laying on my Xtool hat. Quit. Ah, Lee, can't have nothing. This cat, she thinks she owns the place. She kind of does, I guess. Now I got to lint roll the hat because we got cat hair all over it. But anyway, yeah. Jim's asking, did I get a chat with Jason from Xtool? Yeah, actually I did for a little while. I didn't want to keep him because I knew he was there on much more important business than me. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to like hang him up and keep him a long time. But yeah, he stood around and talked to us. Steve got to talk to him. I got to talk to him. And I will say this, guys, because I haven't met that many like CEOs of companies that are that big. But I was pretty impressed by the fact that when I showed up, you couldn't tell which one was Jason and which one was the guys that worked for Jason, because he was wearing the same clothes, same get up, same everything, and he was working just as hard as they were as far as talking to people and that kind of thing. So I was pretty impressed with that. You know, there wasn't any of that, you know, him rolling out red carpet and come walking up, you know, all that kind of stuff. You could tell. You could tell he puts work into the company, and I respect that. So I don't get, like I said, but I haven't met very many guys in his position. But I will say that from my life experiences, I felt like, you know, I see now why the company innovates so much and moves forward so much. His opinions that he had, his like mindset on where the company should go and how they should develop the machines. It impressed me. It would impress me pretty good. So I don't want to go too far off in the weeds on that, because I am going to do a video with some pictures and all that, but I got to get recovered first, because I don't feel like sitting here doing a bunch of voiceover and trying to edit. So once I get a chance to do that, I'm going to sit down and do that, and I'll go into it a little more in that video. I didn't take the time to bother. I didn't want to bother Jason and set him down. Other people were interviewing him. Some of the guys that were up there, and I'm going to put a list of it. I'll put links to their videos so that you can see them. They actually sat down and interviewed him. And, you know, that's just really not my thing to interview people particularly. So I'm not going to try to redo something that they've already done. So I'll just send you links to those guys' videos. Got to meet a lot of other content creators as well. Some that I was very familiar with, some that I knew of, but really didn't watch a lot of until, you know, recently. But it was a learning experience on that side of it too. So not only was it a cool experience getting to see kind of the folks at Xtool and talk with them and work with them and all that, but just being able to network with those other creators and makers was pretty cool, because we get to, you know, you get to talk about shop, because there's not very many people in my hometown that I can like sit down over a, you know, plate of food and eating steak and talk about, you know, best practices in my business and how I do things on YouTube. There's just not that many people. I do actually have a couple of people, May and Jason over at Kyle Hill, but it's just not that often. So it was neat to especially get to see that many different perspectives on the way things goes. So it's pretty cool. Let's see. I'm trying to catch one of the comments. I went off down a rabbit hole, guys. Y'all asking about Jason. I'm sitting here looking at Brian's name. Was Twiggy there? She used to do live with us. I didn't see anybody called Twiggy. The lady that was our, I guess, liaison to Xtool, her name was Allison, and she, matter of fact, if you look at the picture, that last picture I uploaded before we left, when we were at the Mexican place, Allison was to my left, really small, lot smaller than the big guy in the orange shirt. But really, really nice folks. Like I said, I didn't meet anybody that I didn't really get along with or have fun with. They had a couple of guys that were running a couple of ultras set up at the booth, and you'll see them in some of the pictures and video. And those guys were putting in a day because people were coming up asking about the machines. They were doing demo projects, engraving leather patches, business cards, keychains, stuff like that for them. And they were turning it out. I remember also, I know Xtool won some awards. I think it was Steve had a little more information about it. I'll have to look before I do my video. But I think they got an award for the F1 Ultra because that's one of the things that they do at CES is kind of because it's of what it is. They kind of like give out awards for, best new this or best new that, most innovative this, whatever. So there's more awards that were given out, and I don't know what the award is, but they got one. I'll research that a little more before we continue on, or either I'll just let somebody else tell you about it. One of the two. Let's see what we got. yeah, Brian. No, it's like I said. I talked to Jason because you don't here in the deep South, there's not that many tech company CEOs like Jason. He's the first one I've ever met and got to actually sit and talk to. And he asked me what I thought about the machine. And as you guys know, I'm brutally honest. I really, I don't try to hurt people's feelings, but I'm honest. And I told him, I said, I love the product. I like it. I think it's, and me and Steve had been talking about it. I think it's kind of like the iPhone-ish laser, as far as like there's this whole world that is developed around the machines that makes it easy and dependable and all that. But I told him, I was like, there's some things that I would like to see improved. And he said, me too. So, that was refreshing that he didn't, look at me and go, well, how dare you not think our machines are perfect? He admitted that there's some room for improvement. And there again, I like that, in his personality. I like that because anybody that tells you their stuff's perfect, they're probably lying to you. But he told me, he's like, there's some things that I would like to change and there's some changes coming, so that was cool. All around, like I said, not a bad experience. I wish I had longer to stay, but guys, I don't know that my body could have took many more days of it. That was a lot of walking, and it wouldn't have been so bad, I guess, had we not. I don't know if anybody y'all have ever taken kids to like Six Flags or something to where when they walk through the gate, it's 100 miles an hour as hard as they can go, and then they just burn out and crash and burn. That's kind of what I did because I was so excited. I wanted to see everything, and that first day, man, we walked and we walked and we walked, and it just. I'm gonna start training next year. I'm gonna train about 2 months in advance. I'm gonna start out doing like a mile or two walk a day, because, like I said, I was not accustomed to the 8.5, 9 miles of walking with a backpack full of camera gear and water bottles and battery backups and all that. So it was a mess. Yeah, Robbie's saying that he's heard that Xtool's coming with some new products this year. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to go over too much because I don't think I got any top secret stuff. But yes, Jason did say that there's going to be some new releases coming out, and there's going to be he was excited about it. Like I said, I can't really go into all the details that I know of per se, but it sounds like it's going to be an interesting year. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. Y'all know that I'm not one that jumps on airplanes and rides a lot. So this was the very first time I had drove an airplane in years, or drove an airplane, rode on an airplane in years. So this was actually my second trip that I had to fly on. And so it was an experience for me. I did learn that as far as experiences with different professions, because I don't like to pick on professions, but I will say, I think if you apply for certain jobs at airports, I think you have to have a certain amount of bad attitude to get that job. That's just how it seems. I'm not saying it's true, but that's how it seemed because there were some pretty interesting moments that I saw in the airport. But yeah, it was it was an experience, but everything went well. Being that, I didn't go to jail, so that's good. I made it over there and back and didn't go to jail, so it worked out. Oh man. Brian said for me, 2,500 steps is like 1 mile. I don't know how many steps is actually a mile on me. I've got the watch and the Apple phone, and between the two of them, I guess they keep relatively accurate readings. I don't know. No, it uses, all kinds of calculations to figure it out. But Mark, who was it? Oh, no, Brian, you need to get a fitness watch. I got rings. Look at that. I got rings. It keeps up with all that for me. I used to have Garmin watches back when I ran dog tracks because the Garmin watches worked a little better for GPS for tracking. And if you did lose cell service, you could actually use the watch to, use GPS if it was, midnight and you couldn't see the stars to get out. But when I quit running dogs, I have found that the amenities that the iPhone or Apple Watch brings to the table is well worth the hassle. No, Jason. What happened when I first got to when I first got to Birmingham is when I had the first run in with the TSA folks, and I'm a rookie. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm doing. The signage is terrible. All right, and those little corrals that they got is like a maze, and I walk up to this corral and this lady like screams, "Don't step past the line," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm new at this. And then she wants to turn around and scream at me, "I wasn't talking to you." And I'm like, "Well, you're looking at me screaming," but luckily I was having a really good day, even though it was early in the morning. And so I just said a little prayer in the back of my head, did a little meditative breathing to get that adrenaline that was coming up the back of my neck to kind of flow back downwards. And realized really quick that was probably not an encounter that was going to go good for me if I did, decide to retaliate. So it was one of those where, in the famous words of Kenny Rogers, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them and when to walk away. So I just walked away and bit my tongue. And then the second incident I had was kind of it was my fault. All right, it was my fault. So I'm going through there, and these people, man, they're corralling us like cattle. Like we were, step to the line, go to number 2, pull out a tub, laptop in this one, bag in that one, shoes in this one, take off your belt buckle, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to follow all these directions, and ain't nobody said the word cell phone, so I didn't think about it. I had my cell phone in my cargo pocket when I went through the metal detector, and the little guy, man, it scared me. I thought I was going to be a casualty, but he actually was nice about it. At first, he come up with a little bit of an attitude, but then he was like, "What do you got? What do you got in your pocket?" And I'm like, "Shit, I don't know. Let me look." And I patted my pocket and I had my cell phone, and so I kind of got a little bit of I don't know. I got a little bit of a look from him, but I deserved that one. I screwed up. That was on me because I forgot to take my phone out of my pocket. And then there was this other one guy that I walked up to ask a question because I was trying to figure out exactly where to go get my luggage, and there was no signs at this particular place. And he, I walked past him, and as I walked past him, I thought about it. I was like, I bet this guy can tell me where I need to go. So I turned around to ask him where I needed to go, and when I did, guys, I'm talking about he went mall cop on me so fast. Stay back. I'm like, oh crap, but yeah, he said, he's like, stay back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is where it ends right here. But yeah, they take some of that stuff. You can tell those guys are either undercompensated, overworked, or something. I don't know, but they all need a little vitamin C. I'm just gonna say that. But for the most part, it was okay. So, and like I said, I'm not knocking on everybody that does the job because, bad experiences. I've seen people have bad experiences with my profession as well. And that don't mean all of us are that way, but I found a couple of them this past week. So we'll just say that I found a couple. So, yeah. Let me catch up on these comments. But yeah, guys, I'm like, I don't know. If no one got tackled, yeah, I didn't get tackled. I thought I was going to, but I didn't. Well, Robbie, I've been wearing those glasses now. I wear them every day at work and everything ever since I got them. The only time I don't wear them is usually when I'm in the shop. I don't wear them if I'm in the house or whatever. I'll use them in videos to get me the like hands-on view. But I wear those glasses every day. I love them. I actually got flagged down over at CES by like 4 different people asking me how I liked them. So that was interesting. Brian, average every day. I don't know. It's really not that much here lately because of the knee, because I've been limited on my walking. It used to be about 8,000 steps a day back pre-knee surgery. For the month so far, I'm averaging like 3.41 miles. I used to, back before back surgery and knee surgery, run about 3 miles a day. Long time ago. But I'm going to have to start back doing it because some of my clothes ain't fitting like they're supposed to, guys. This whole knee surgery thing done got me swelling up a little bit. Okay. Oh yeah. Did I make it? Yeah. We like I said, we hung out with Kim and Garrett. There's a bunch of the guys, and I don't want to go to mentioning everybody, because I'll leave somebody out. But when I do my recap, my full video or whatever, all of my memoirs, I'm gonna make sure to include everybody. But yeah, it was fun. Like I said, got to network with some cool folks. I'd always wanted to sit down and have a conversation with Kim and Garrett, because they're not necessarily from my area, but I guess kind of some of the regional stuff's very similar from where they're at. And I was pleased to meet them, and they were nice folks, and had good time hanging out with them for a while. Chris said went from 25 to 30,000 a day pre-retirement to 25 a week, 2,500 a week. Yeah, well, I don't know how it's going to go. Like I said, part of my problem is my bones is wore out. What's up, Rick? How are you, sir? Now, I didn't get called into no special rooms, which I did transport my sidekick with me. So I had to go, to the special counter and talk to people and get special stickers and stuff like that. But yeah, it went well. Like I said, I was a little nervous. That was the second time in my entire life I've been on an airplane, and the very first time that I actually took my sidekick with me. So I was Jim said you could have been carrying. Well, no, Jim, I knew what the policies were on that. It was checked. No, Rick, I tend to not fly anywhere. I drive most everywhere I go, because typically when I go, I'm going, or in the past when I was going somewhere, whether it be New York, Houston, or wherever, Missouri, Kentucky, wherever, I was always going for work, and I was typically had a lot of gear that you don't necessarily want to try to deal with flying with. So no, I never had a need for it. Oh, Dark Horse said I already had 3 surgeries. Hit a deer on a bike. That's not good. Well, I guess you missed it. Me and Steve were wandering through CES, and you got to have a backpack to keep all your goodies and stuff in. And I saw this, and I was like, "What? It's a LED paneled backpack." And so I just went all nerd and decided I wanted it. And so the company that was there had them, and I got the price down a little bit from what it was, and I bought it because I like it. I think it's cool. And my daughter, I knew that if I didn't keep it, my daughter would. And it kind of does some weird stuff on the camera with the LEDs, but it's actually, you can't see those little scrolling lines in person. That's something to do with the frame rate of the camera. But yeah, so that's it. And you can like operate it with your phone. It has all kinds of other little things that it does. But I put a few graphics on it, just play around. This is gonna be my little fun pack. I'm gonna get me like a Sasquatch. I want one of like a Sasquatch walking, and I'm gonna put like Steve's head on it. I'm gonna have like Steve on a backpack now. So I'm gonna have fun with this. Because Steve kind of looked at me like, "Why are you buying that?" And I was like, "Dude, you don't even know what I got in mind for that." But yeah, my daughter loves it. So it runs off of a battery backup. So like all of the only thing that's in there is literally like a 20,000 or 2,000 milliamp, whatever, one of the bigger battery backups, and it'll run it for like ever. Like I've been playing with it ever since. So I sat in a motel room last night trying to program it, and I was so tired. I couldn't get the graphics to work right because it's basically 64 by 64 resolution is what it boils down to. It's got 64 by 64 RGB lights or whatever. So it can do combinations of colors and all that. But if you have a graphic and it has something real fine detail in it that's small, it'll like just cause it to put like dots all over the place, and it just looks crummy. So I had to wait till I got home on a computer to where I could get into some of my editing software to fix the pictures. So we'll see how it goes. Side of the radios asking, do you stream from OBS or a service like StreamYard? I use a combination of Streamlabs. I use Streamlabs to kind of, when I'm over here and I want to swap cameras and move stuff around and do all that. And like, cause I got cameras like all over the shop, like they're everywhere. And never mind the ferns. Those are not my ferns. Those are my wife's. It's supposed to be getting cold, and I was out of town. So she decided the ferns would be safer in the shack than they would be outside. So I got ferns for right now, but we are going to be relocating ferns hopefully soon, or either I'm going to put some hooks way up on the ceiling, get them out of my way. One of the two. But I use Streamlabs output through the virtual port from Streamlabs into StreamYard, which is where I tie all the different, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, all that. I tie all that together there. So, well, it wouldn't. It just. I think it just irritated him. Jim's asking if I got yelled at for having a phone. I think it irritated him that I didn't follow directions, and I get it. I get it. All right, I screwed up. That was on me, but it was just like I guess if you're at that metal detector for 10, 12 hours, 8 hours a day, you're probably not having it's probably not fun. So, whatever. I messed up on that one. I should have, but this chick behind the little conveyor belt was talking so fast. And, here in the country, we don't talk fast like that. And I was just having a hard time processing everything, tired. And I pure left my cell phone in my pocket. But it all worked out. Yeah, Robbie, I did find too, because Steve come past me when we were getting on at Las Vegas, because we set up our flights to where we would be in the airport on the way over, and we'd be in the airport on the way back at the same time to try to minimize, paying for taxis and Ubers and stuff, because Steve would pay for one, I'd pay for one. Steve would pay for one, and I'd pay for one. So that way it saved both of us money in the long run. And so I'm sitting there going through all the metal detectors and all this kind of stuff. And Steve goes over to the special people section over there where you've been pre-screened or whatever he's doing. I'm going to do that before I start flying anymore. But he goes over to the special people section and just gets walked right past me and off to the plane. And I'm like, what the heck? Here I am, been a police officer for 25 years. Been on presidential Overwatch details. Like John McCain came to Montgomery and I was on the Overwatch team for him. I mean, what kind of clearance do you need to not have to do that? But yet Steve just walked right in. So I don't know what kind of paperwork he did, but I'm doing the paperwork between now and my next trip because that was ridiculous. Well, Jack, I will tell you, the ride is not terrible. The takeoff's not that bad. It's kind of exhilarating because it's like, boom. But the landing, and I don't know what it is about them landings, but sometimes they're a little. They'll make you kind of be like, what was that? Because like we had that one pilot, he came in hot, but they had some wind in Denver because I left Birmingham, went to Denver, had lunch, and then left Denver and went to Las Vegas. So yeah, Mark, I had like an hour and a half at Denver, so I just took advantage of it and went and got some lunch. I didn't leave the airport because I didn't want to go back through TSA. Jeffrey, I did get a couple of ideas as far as like projects, but they were CNC projects. I saw some, and I found a couple of like gadgets. There was a company there that I've never really wanted one of those resin printers, but there was a company there that had them. That man, some of the stuff they were printing was pretty awesome. I know I can't afford the printer because I have no need for it, but it was awesome. It was Form Labs, and like they have like nylon powder and all kinds of different resins that you can use with their resin printers. And man, some of the stuff they were printing was cool. So, and then I've got an idea for a project, CNC project that I'm gonna do because I got to do some projects to take to Workbench Con, and I've been looking for something unique, something different that somebody else hadn't done. And I think I figured it out. It's going to be something somebody else has done, but theirs was like this big, and mine's going to be huge. So that's going to be my project, I think. What's up, V? How are you? Or hello, whichever. James Richards is on Amazon for $99. What's that? Well, I don't know what's on Amazon. Could have put your retirement time. Yeah, I'd have to program it every day though. I wish if it did have a countdown, I'd make it my new countdown thing. But that's what I told somebody. I was like, even if I don't like the backpack, I like the panel. It's pretty cool. But it's kind of weird because the way they got it built, like you can't. It's like a translucent material on there, so the panel's underneath this piece of material. So it's kind of neat. Like I said, it just my inner nerd kind of went off on that one, and I decided I was going to get it as my souvenir of my very first CES. so I did. Nipa's asking what's going on with the dog. Well, strange you should ask that. When I got back a while ago, I came in here and I was working on getting my pictures off of my phone and my little cameras and everything and putting them on the computer so I could do the video later. And I was working on the images from a backpack, and I heard a noise, and that's what I saw. That's the cat door. All right, that little cat door right there is where the cats come in and out. And so the dog, who he's still staying here, and has so far, it appears that he has been named Biscuit while I was gone, and has not went anywhere. The post that I did has gotten thousands of people looking at it, so I'm guessing somebody just decided to donate me a dog because I don't think he's lost. Because everybody in my community has seen that post or has to have seen that post by now. Robbie said I saw green on it and thought it was another top secret thing. What did you see green on? What we seeing? Oh, yeah, that's what Jim. I think that's what Steve had, but they just marched him through there like he was a dignitary or something. So I might have to work on that. I mean, you would think with like I've got documents with the ATF. All right, I mean, like there's some pretty serious backgrounds been done on me, but yet I got to take my shoes off at the airport. Yeah, whatever. But we'll see. I told Brandy, I was like, when we start getting to where we're actually doing that, like with any frequency, the next time we fly, we're going to go there early and we're going to do whatever paperwork, backgrounds, whatever we have to do so that we can avoid some of that. Fluffy, what are you doing? Quit trying to fight with a backpack. You trying to fight with a backpack again? Don't climb on the laser. She climbs on the laser to get up there to her bed. They were up there when I came in sleeping, I guess, and came down. Yeah, Mark, they were saying that Adam Savage has one of those, but the price tag on that machine that they use to print this stuff, it ain't my kind of money. It's Adam Savage kind of money. It ain't my kind of money. I can't swing that. If I had a customer ordering stuff every week, maybe. But then I'd have to have somebody to run it. Oh, Jeffrey, this ain't necessarily all about CES. It's just I'm back from CES. So, you know how it is around here. I do have a CES video that I'm going to put together, but it's not going to be a live. I mean, it's just going to be this is my experience. This is my thoughts on it. This is who I got to see, blah, 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 and go from there. If I got the camera on the OMTech Polar Plus working, yeah, mine works. It's tricky to calibrate. I will tell you that. Get you some green painter's tape if you're trying to calibrate the camera. Get you some green painter's tape while you're calibrating it, and put at least one layer of painter's tape over those LED lights inside there. So far, that's the only thing that if I was going to grab to them about it, that's the only big thing is I wish there was like an off switch somewhere, like even inside the machine, like a little toggle switch. We could turn those lights off, because when you're trying to calibrate the camera on it, the lights are a little much for it. And I will tell you too, to get mine to calibrate well, I wound up having to come in a little bit from the edges of the honeycomb. The camera's a little low to calibrate all the way out to the corners. I mean, I could send you my calibration file, but I don't know if it would work with yours. Matter of fact, let me fire it up. I'll show you. Give you an idea of how accurate mine is and how it looks, so you'll know. Let me go over here and flip a switch. Oh. Oh. Homo leg and got stiff sitting here, guys. They got stiff. All right. So, all right. Oh, I forgot to put that camera on there the other day too. All right, so there it is. I got a piece of cardboard in there is all I got. It's still a little skewed right here. It's pretty accurate in the middle, but I couldn't get, if you try putting the little cards out here all the way in the corners, it's not gonna, it didn't want to work right for me. I had to bring the car. I'll show you about where I put them. Hang on. So you're going to need to put the card about where that one's at. That's about as far over as I could go with it. If you go all the way into the corners, I couldn't ever get it to grab it. The camera is just so close to the work area, in my opinion. That's what's causing it. They didn't send me a correction file, like a calibration file with my machine. I think they had one for Ruida or whatever, RD Works. There was a calibration file for RD Works, but I couldn't find one for Lightburn. So I just went through the calibration myself. But the way that I got it to work was to go in there with some painter's tape and tape up those lights to kill a little bit of the light. See all that glare on that piece of card right there? Let me show you. All right, look at that picture right there, and then watch when I hit the update button. See, I got rid of that little bit of glare. You'd be surprised how much that little bit of glare will mess it up when you're trying to calibrate it. And you can even put 2 or 3 layers on there. I mean, for that matter, you could use like some kind of tape that's the light's not going to come through. But don't put nothing on there that has any kind of adhesive that's going to be hard to get off. I like using painter's tape because it just peels right off. If you put anything else on there, you're going to get sticky stuff on those lights. But that's what I did. If you can't get it to work, let me know, and I can take my calibration file and drop it on Google for you. Or actually, I guess hang on, let me show you here. All right, so what I'll do, I think I've already saved it, but I'm going to go ahead and export my camera settings right here. And I'm going to call this Home Tech Polar Plus camera. I'll go ahead and send that over to the downloads, and I will add that to Google Drive right quick. I'll give you a link. If you want to download that and put it in directly, I'll show you how to do that in just a second, if you don't already know. So if you already know, let me know. Let's see what we got here. Got my shared. Not wanting y'all to see everything in my folder there. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm good right here. File upload. Let's see. To share copy link. All right. Like I said, this is not going to be 100% accurate in the outer far reaches. It's just not. I mean, like I said, cameras are a tool. They're not the end all be all. So it will get you pretty close. Hang on, I'll put something there to show you. Let me get some scrap. All right, so I put me a little piece of leftover material in there, and I'll just show you. Like I said, in the middle, like if you're trying to use the camera because you're trying to cut you're using some recycled material or some scrap, and you need to cut like in a particular place. If you do it in the center, I've had decent luck with it. So I got 40% power, 100% outline. So we're good on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and frame that. All right, let me go ahead and make sure I got the focus right. So I'm going to navigate out to the center of the work area there on that material. All right. Set the focus. It doesn't take it but a second. All right. And I got mine set to where I can only send the file. I can't hit the start button. And I tried running it the other way. I was having some issues with it, like the file getting jacked up. So I went to send only. So if you have yours where you can use the start button, if you start having trouble with it like hanging or something, it's not the machine. It's it trying to stream from Lightburn to the machine. I was having some, I don't know if it was latency on my USB ports or what, but since I've started doing the send, I actually like that better because I can technically send this over there, frame it at the machine, set the focus over there, and then hit go. But either way, so let me start this right here. Send it over. Just going to leave it default name. And hit the start button. Oh, Lord. How many passes we got that on? 3? Ought to be able to see it. All right, update overlay. See? Yeah, not not all that accurate. And I'm going to play with it some more, but I don't depend on a camera anyway, so it's not that big a deal. The biggest thing that bothers me is the fact that it's shaped like this. That bothers me worse than the fact that it's not accurate because I just like to use it to kind of get a feel for things. But yeah, so it's not going to be entirely accurate with that calibration. So if it's off, I know it's off. All right, it's the camera, the height of the camera, off of the bed of the material. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but that'll get it to where it works. It's usable. As long as you frame before you send it, you're good. Anything that you want to make sure it's absolutely in the center, either do like a test burn on something else or make a jig. Bobby is asking, is it possible to create in VCarve and export into CES? And the answer would be, it depends on what you're trying to export. But yes, you can create artwork in VCarve and then send it into XCS, or at least you could. So let's see if you still can. So what we'll do is we'll just do it this way. We'll just open one that I've already created. That way we ain't got to go through the trouble of creating a file. All right. So we're going to open this one. My graphics card kicked in. I've got my computer set to where when I open any of these 3D modeling softwares, my graphics card will kick in. So once you've got the design designed here, then you're going to go to File, Export. You can do with Lightburn, you can do either AI, DXF, or SVG. If it's something like this where it's long as everything is like basically scaled the same, it's okay, then SVG works great. If it's something that you're really specific about the measurements, you may want to use DXF. It typically is going to do a little better with maintaining the shapes and the sizes. Like if you look on this one, when I built this file, before we move on, when I built this file in VCarve, I actually labeled this measurement on this file. So when we get into, well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to practice up on doing it in XCS. But when you get into Lightburn, if you export them from here into Lightburn, you can use the measurement tool to confirm this number to make sure your scale worked out appropriately. But anyway, let me. There we go. File, export, and I'm going to go ahead and do it as a DXF. Just going to send it to downloads, hit save. And then when you open up Creative Space, I think mine's up to date because somebody asked me a question the other day about it, the new updated version, and I had to update it. It was scary. But all right, so we'll go to new project. I don't have a machine connected right now, so we're just gonna mock draw it up. So we'll set it to go to the S1, switch the profile over to the S1. Then we're going to File, Import, Downloads, and then you'll see it right here. It's going to show up like if you have Vectric, it's going to show up as a Vectric file, but it's a DXF. This is where you can get yourself in trouble if it's not just like a decorative thing. Make sure that in your settings you have this to ask you every time you bring something in. And so I'm going to hit no, do it in the original size so it doesn't rescale anything. And then there you go. There's your art. There's your file. Now you can see sometimes, see how these rounded edges or whatever, these corners right here, these were actually rounded in Vectric. Changed them to a square for some reason. Matter of fact, there's the file in Vectric. There's the file in XCS. So go back over here. Let's try a different file type. We're going to go to export. I'm going to export it as a SVG. Like I said, this is going to be dependent on you to make sure that your sizes don't get messed up. Go back over here, file, import image. This is going to be the SVG format. I've got it set to ask me every time, do I want to scale? And I'm just going to tell no, display it in this original format. So now you see it actually kept the edges. So in the past, XCS has had problems with different file types, but just pay attention to, make sure it doesn't mess your file up. And SVGs seem to be working fine this time, but you can go in here and, like I said, make sure if you want to make sure that the size is correct, what you can do is come in here and draw your rectangle right there. And then look at the size of the rectangle compared to the size of what it is that you're trying to do. Now you need to zoom in and make sure it's perfectly lined up, but you can do that. Or I don't ever use the measurement tool in here. I know there's one, but I don't use it. So let me see if I can figure out where exactly, if there is even a way. I can't remember. Like I said, guys, I like XCS for deploying files, but I don't build. I don't build in XCS. But there you go. But yes, to answer your question, you can. I haven't. Matter of fact, we'll try it right quick. We'll see. Export. Let's see. Can we do? What if we bring in an AI file here? What if we can export it as an AI and bring it into XCS? Let's try that. That way, somebody ever asks me that question, I'll know the answer. File, import. No, it's not seeing that. I didn't think you could. So yeah, looks like SVG currently. SVG is probably going to be your best route going from VCarve over to XCS. And like I said, which is weird because for a while there, coming from Lightburn, SVGs were having a hard time. So just pay attention to the file, make sure nothing gets messed up in the transport. But yeah, you can almost design in any one of the three files and send it to the others. So but there you go. If anybody knows what exactly the measuring tool is on that, I need to sit down and play with XCS some more because they've updated it so much. And that's what I realized this past week because we was up there and I was like, I don't use XCS that often for anything other than deploying files. Now, deploying, I know where the stuff's at. What are y'all looking for on Amazon? Hey, Steve. Hey, Steve snuck in here. Steve snuck in here. I said I need to go to bed. Trust me, I'm about to here in just a minute. Folks were asking questions that got me to teaching. And I start teaching, I lose track of time. Jack said he just found a backpack for $60. Well, were you trying to get my backpack? Now I'll give you an affiliate link to one if you want it now. I have to look, see what kind this one is. This one's is that it? 95. It looks kind of like it. Let me see what the name of it. I don't remember what the name of it was. Oh, that's some of my airplane stuff. I don't know how that got in here. Now I did pay a little more for this one, but they did pitch in a good sized battery. Let me see what the label says. Hang on, it's got a QR code. Let me scan it. Uh-oh. Well, come on. That QR code ain't telling me nothing. Anyway, I got the bag in the house in there. But yeah, there's one that is. It looks really similar. $64 by $64, yeah. There's one on Amazon that looks really similar for like $95, $99. My wife has sent me something. Let's see if it's the same one. It kind of looks like the same one. It is the same one. The same app anyway. Well, there you go. There you go, right there. That's got the same. It uses the same app and everything as the one I'm using, so I'm assuming it's the same one. It looks just like it. But yeah. Oh, they got one in orange too. Look, look, they got it in orange. What in the heck, man? I could have had me an orange one. Who knew? I lost my screens. There we go. Let me move that back down here. I got so many screens going everywhere I couldn't find the comments. Derby said, at least I'm not crazy. XCS does turn them. Yeah, I didn't know it would do that. I have pulled files in before and didn't have that problem, but it dang sure did a minute ago. But yeah, that's the backpack that I got over here. I believe if it ain't, it's a twin of it. Like, no, it ain't quite. It's this part's built a little different on this one, and just got this extra little pouch back here. It's just got like an extra little pouch back, so it's a little different. But the panel looks like it's going to be the same LED panel in it as this one has, or at least they're using the same app, and the specifications are the same. But yeah. That yeah, because this one here, this one's a little different. If you look at the I mean, it's not a lot different, but it's a little. That's the same app that I'm using right there. So I mean, that's exactly the same app. But yeah, it's very similar. But the backpack is a little different. It doesn't have as quite the pockets as what mine's got. So I feel a little better because I paid a little more than that for this one. But I did get the battery with it too. So anyway, what we got going on? Jack, I almost got the hat, but I just don't wear hats at all, ever. Well, I wear my floppy hat when I'm cutting grass. Keep getting my head tore up. Harry said, give that one to my daughter to have an excuse to get an orange one. Well, I will be honest with you. Other than this material that's on the outside of it, that I don't know what exactly it is, the panel, you could probably buy a panel by itself online and put it in one. It's just that covering that's on there. But there's a lot of different ones on here now that I'm looking. There's some pretty cool ones. They had a shoulder bag too. So, but yeah, Very similar, but it's cool. I just thought it was cool. It's novel. It's kind of geeky, but I liked it. I'm unable to get the Jimitsu to connect to my Mac. Raven, I've never tried to connect a Mac. My wife's got a MacBook Pro, but I've never tried to connect a CNC to it. So Steve might could help you. I think he has a MacBook that he uses from time to time, but I've never used one out here in the shop, so I don't have any experience with it. Yeah, Aldrich, I'm gonna do Steve on a backpack. I've got the graphic. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. I've got the graphic. I've just got to tweak it because, like I said, the resolution on here is basically in terms of the size is like 64 by 64. So let me find Steve here. I'm gonna do some editing to his photo because of the one I got right here. I need just the face. So let me work on this. Let me show you guys. All right, so this is my picture I use of Steve to make Steve on a stick and everything. So what we'll do is we'll crop Steve on a stick here a little bit to get just the face. Just a second. There we go. Just all I want is the face. All right, so there we go. Resize that. Now I got to make this for this particular thing. So I got to do 64 by 64 on my pixels here. All right. And now we can download. I'm going to do a transparent PNG. So hopefully it won't put a back. Well, I better put a background. For some reason, it keeps backfilling PNG. So let me put a background color in here. We'll put black. That way, hopefully it'll work out. So we'll download that. All right. Give me a minute because I got to go to my Drive account to send this over to my phone. And we'll test this and see if it works. Steve's sitting there going, Steve's visiting with his dad, I think, today. So maybe he's busy. Maybe he don't know what we're doing. We'll hope anyway. But I told him that I was going to do this. It's not going to be a surprise to him. He's apparently scheming on something that he's got also. So he can't really say a whole lot. So let's see if this works, guys. I've got the photo. Basically all I did was, you saw what I did. I just cropped it and removed the background. And so we're going to connect the app to it. Make sure I'm connected. Let me see if I can swap the pictures. Yeah, I think I got to reconnect. Yep. Yeah, if you get too far away from it, it'll disconnect. And you have to go back and reconnect. So now I should be able to go in here and upload a picture. And I'm going to add Steve's picture from my phone. I downloaded it from my Google Drive. I'm going to add Steve's picture from my phone. Send it over there. I got to send it to the device. Now, it sends it by Bluetooth. And the Bluetooth, of course, on it's not real powerful. But if you keep it relatively close, it don't take it but a few seconds. And so there we go, guys. We got Steve on a backpack. I could technically make Steve on a backpack a little bigger. Let's do that. Let's make our image a little bigger because that's 64 by 64 right there. Oh, so we're gonna go a little bigger with Steve. Let me close some of these softwares out. So I'm gonna get rid of XCS. Hope nobody's got no more questions about that. We're playing with Steve on us. Where's my? Hang on, I gotta find my Adobe. Open up Steve. I don't want to make it as quite as big as there we go. All right. Top this Steve on a stick. I'm going to delete that one that we just had. I'm going to re-upload it. Yeah, this one's a good bit bigger. It's going to work out good. So let me delete it off of the backpack. It's removed from the backpack. Now I got to re-download it. This one's going to be, hopefully this one will fill up the whole back of the backpack. So it'll be like just one big giant Steve head. So, oh, that's the Uber app. I had to learn how to use Uber also while I was up there. We don't have that where I'm from. Or at least they don't come out here where I live. So Steve had to train me on the use of Uber. All right. All right, sending it over, guys. All right. Look at that, guys. Check it out. Phew. We got Steve on a backpack. It kind of messes. You can't see those lines in real life. I don't know why on that camera's. We swap cameras. See if this other one does it. Yeah, Steve on a backpack. Oh, that's awesome. So what do you think about that, Steve? Oh, that's okay, Clack. No, what I want to do is like I want to have like a little Steve, like a little body running with Steve's head on it. That's what I want. Great. I got me a backpack. What do you think about my backpack? But yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty cool backpack, guys. So now when y'all see me out, y'all see me walking around with a backpack on, I have Steve. Old backpack. So I got Steve on a stand, I got Steve on a stick, and now I got Steve on a backpack. So there you go. That's it right there. It actually turned out pretty nice. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it is time for me to go get to bed though, guys. I got to get some rest. I just want to check in with you guys and let y'all know that I am back home. Give me a day or so to recover, and hopefully I'll be able to get the video out from everything that took place up there. In the meantime, I'll give you guys some videos to watch, and you can go over there and comment, tell them that I sent you over to their channels if you want. And that is going to be, let me get their links to their channels. Some of you may or may not know of them. I think probably all of you do, if y'all know of me, because they're bigger channels than mine. So I'll drop a couple of links. I know they did some lives and stuff from up there. And if you do go watch one of their videos, just tell them that the Clack Shack sent you. and I'd appreciate it because, like I said, I look forward to collaborating with them. We've got some stuff that I want to do, and we talked about trying to do something together, so we'll probably doing that. But I know Kim and Garrett did one. Bittner was up there. He actually did a interview with Jason up there for the ones of y'all that know Bittner Built. So you can go check him out too. He's got an interview with Jason that he did, I think, and some other videos and stuff like that. And Laser Engraving 911 got to meet him. He was up there as well. And y'all know I'm terrible with names. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing that that it's not up to me to remember. But yeah, so go click on these guys' links if you want to see more about CES. If you don't know these channels, you can go check it out. Tell them I sent you so they'll know that we're talking them up. And there's a few more channels that were there, but so far I haven't seen them put out anything. But I'm gonna make sure before I do my big, this is what we did while we were there. I'm gonna make sure I've got everybody in tow there. Wait a minute, EB was it? Epman. Yeah, his channel I can't ever remember. So, here you go. There's another one. So those three channels, I know they've already put some content out. EBP Man Tech Reviews. He was also up there. So I know those guys have already put some content out about specifically what was at the event. And like I said, I just want to let you know, guys, know that I was back. I survived. I made it back home. And hopefully I'll get something out. And yeah, 6'8" was there also. Has he put anything out yet, Lance? But yeah, I'd never heck, I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and drop all of them. That way nobody gets left out, because I don't know who's dropped what. So we're gonna put a whole bunch of links over here in the description or in the comment section. And you guys just go tell them that the Shack sent you and give them a thumbs up or something like that. If you haven't ever watched them, if you have, then you can, whatever. But making sure I don't leave anybody out. There's a lot of folks there. Chad's Custom Creations. Chad was there. I didn't know it, but Chad actually doesn't live that far from me. He's over in Georgia. Him and his wife were there. Sat and talked to them. So that's definitely something that we might be able to collaborate on something eventually, because literally that's from my house to theirs is just a few hours drive, like 3 or 4 hours probably, if you're conservative getting there. And there's probably somebody I'm leaving out because I'm not sitting down and prepping this, but there's a lot of the guys, and of course Xtool, we hung out with them a lot, but that's a lot of the guys that were there. I think we got Kim and Garrett, EBP, yeah. We got him. We got 911, 6'8". Yeah, I think that's everybody. So if not, then I'll make sure I put them in the description and everything of the one that I'm going to be doing, because I'm gonna actually show their channels and all that, because I didn't do a whole lot of videoing. I was too busy trying to cover all that ground, and it was noisy. People were everywhere. And I just didn't feel like that's not really my style. So I didn't really want to go around interviewing people and all that. So, but yeah, look for that to be out hopefully in the next few days. I've also got some equipment I've got to do. I've got something over yonder. Some of y'all have asked me what's under the green cover. It will be getting revealed. Hang on. Let me tell you, because I've got like I said, let me see here. I don't want to lie to you guys, so I'm gonna have to make sure when that's getting revealed, but it's soon. So y'all, the ones of y'all's been asking me, hey, what's under the cloth? We'll get to find out what's under the cloth. Well, I have not purged through my emails in quite a few days. Got 17 in my junk folder. I get a lot of emails a day, guys. So let's see. Wow, that's on back there. Crap. Oh, here we go. Found it. All right. So the video, I can't release the video until 2:00 a.m. on January 15th of 2025. So that's what they told me. That's the day that the video can go out. So that's the day the video is going to go out, guys. Sorry. I mean, that's the downside to getting machines before they exist is I have to play by the rules. And it's going to be something different. I can tell you that. Some of you may not like it, but it is definitely going to be something you've never seen before. So, if you want to check that out, pay attention to the channel, and I'll have that out there. I'm not going to be able to put out a teaser or anything like that beforehand. So just watch for that date, because it's going to go hot shortly after that deadline they gave me. I got to wait till then. So that's the 15th. So that'll be sometimes in the next week. It'll be dropping. I guess the 15th will be Wednesday of next week. So y'all can ask me about it again Sunday, and I'll tell you to wait till Wednesday. But yeah, we got that coming up. Got a few more machines coming, and apparently I got a bunch of other stuff possible. I just looked at my emails. They're filling up again. So I'm going to go get out of here. I'm going to go check my emails one last time before I go in there and go to sleep. And, if you guys need anything, feel free to message, shoot me an email or whatever, and we'll go from there. Gray's asking, is the dog still around? Yes, Gray, the dog is around. My kids and my wife have apparently named him Biscuit while I was gone. He is apparently really big into, what do they call that? Archaeology, where you go find bones, because he keeps dragging up, and my daughter's holding those big cow bones. And I think he's got enough that we could probably build a small T-Rex right now. And I don't know where he's finding them, but they're old bleached out bones, but he keeps bringing them up. So, and he also thinks he's a cat and doesn't realize that he cannot fit through the cat door to come into the shack. So he was wanting to come in here earlier, and he stuck his head in the cat door. So, but yeah, but we'll see. Just put the new product on reveal one day. Yeah. Bespokes, I don't have a whole lot of stuff I can share, but I do know that there's some pretty cool stuff coming. Some different products, some improvements on some other stuff. I mean, it's gonna be a wild year, I think, for them. I think in general for lasers, it's gonna be a wild year from what I've been hearing. So, but yeah, but like I said, I'd love to tell you more, but there's some things I just can't, guys. I just can't. But I will say this: the issues and things that you guys bring to me about, I wish the laser did this, or I wish the laser did that. Just know that this weekend I got to visit with, talk to, or be around 3 of the well-known manufacturers of lasers, Xtool being one of them, and I passed on what you guys tell me, and what we talk about as far as, this machine would be better if, I told them what the ifs are. So, pretty sure you're going to see some movement on those out of Xtool and the other companies. The conversations that I had, it sounded like they are also. So we'll see. 2025 is going to be, there's going to be some movement in the machine, some innovations made, and hopefully it'll be good. Lance, what you got going? Was yours the Hurricane, or I don't remember what you had, Lance, with Adam Stack, but I haven't had any problems with them, but I've only had to use their services, like troubleshooting, like maybe once, and it was kind of quick. So the A24 Ultra, that's a pretty nice machine. I don't know. You can email me with your issues, and I'll try to help you work through it. But yeah, the A24. Mine's a solid machine. Steve's is a solid machine. So if you're having problems, the module died. Oh, well, nah. Okay, yeah, you might have got a bad module. I'm not gonna say it hasn't. It can't happen. It can, but maybe they'll work through it. If not, if they give you too much runaround, let me know, and I can see what I can do through my contact. But the marketing people typically don't have a whole lot of control outside of marketing. So that's the biggest problem, because I usually end up talking to the same people y'all talk to if I have problems. Yeah, I think with the 24, I think it's a board swap too goes with that. But anyway, y'all have a good one. I appreciate y'all coming by and hanging out with me for a little while. Just wanted to update you, let you know what was going on, and show y'all Steve on a backpack. I will be taking a picture of it shortly and putting it in the laser engraving community page, because I think this is the first Steve on a backpack ever created by man. So, matter of fact, I know it is. So, anyway, guys, y'all be safe. Have a good one. And hopefully, in the next few days, I can do a video of some sorts. I do have. I will tell you what this video is. I had one of you guys ask me if the UV could engrave Kydex. Apparently, different color Kydex for making of belt accessories and so forth. And so I got a package in while I was in Las Vegas of the Kydex, different little scrap pieces of Kydex and stuff. And so thanks to one of you guys, I got the necessary stuff to test the UV on Kydex, figure out some settings and all that good stuff, to let this guy know whether or not it works before he tries to move forward. So, yeah, there y'all go. So, from me, Steve on a backpack, and everybody here at the Clack Shack, have a good night. We'll see y'all later.